Hi, welcome to the Wild Gut Project. My name is Carrie. This is all about being vegan on a low FODMAP diet for irritable bowel syndrome. And today I've got a recipe for you for a Tuscan inspired soup which has some butter beans in, which are low FODMAP if you have just 1/4 of a cup. So it's all about those portions with the legumes, and if you can include them in your diet, you should, because they're very good for you. So I hope you enjoy this recipe. So for the vegetable base, we're going to be using 4 large carrots, an aubergine, the dark green section of a spring onion, and then 4 common tomatoes. And then just like that, we're going to finely dice them up. And I'm going to saute the dark green section of that spring onion in a little bit of olive oil, followed by some rosemary and thyme. And I'm also going to add in a bay leaf, which is very big, so I'd use 2 if it's a normal size one. And then after about a minute, I'm going to add in all those finely diced vegetables, start stewing them down. So I'm going to mix them about. I'm going to actually add in some salt now, because I recently learned if you add it at the beginning you use less overall and it has a chance to actually go into the vegetables and enhance the flavour. So I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, which also is adding a lot of flavour. I want it to have some time to infuse. I'm just going to stir that around, cook it for about 4 minutes before adding in 1.5 litres of boiled water. And this is quite a brothy soup. And I'm going to add a couple stock cubes, which are low FODMAP and vegan, and I'll link them below because they save so much time. And then I'm going to add 8 tablespoons of tomato puree. And that is the soup ready to stew down. So I'm going to pop the lid on and leave it for about half an hour. But if you can leave it for longer, do, because it will become even richer and creamier. So then it's time to do the beans. I've got canned butter beans, and canned it has to be because the FODMAPs have a chance to kind of go into the water and reduce the content in the beans. And I'm carefully weighing out 170 grams here, which is 4 low FODMAP portions. So there we are. I'm going to then move it over to a pan with a little bit of olive oil and start cooking the beans. These are going to be really punchy and full of kind of umami flavour to stir into the soup, so I'm adding about 1 or 2 tablespoons of dried yeast flakes. And then I'm going to saute it just a moment before adding in some chopped rosemary and then lots of chopped parsley, and start to cook those down together. I'm also adding some pepper, and then I'm going to add a bit of soy sauce, which I really love in this, but you could just use salt if you find it a bit strange. And then mixing it all together. And then I'm also going to be adding in just a tiny pinch of asafoetida. This one's kind of diluted from Sainsbury's, so I'm using a bit more than I would if it was pure. And then it's time to bring it all together. So I'm using about 1/4 of the soup, well, probably not that much in this bowl actually, and then adding in that 1 low FODMAP portion of beans on top. And these beans are so nice actually, you can have them in like a bitter bowl or a salad on their own as well. It's useful to be sure that the portion you're having isn't kind of lost and unevenly distributed throughout the soup. And you can have it with some sourdough toast, and it's wonderful. Also, when you are doing portions for the fridge, I like to make sure there's a single portion in there and you know it's definitely low FODMAP, and you can keep it in the fridge, keep it in the freezer, and it's good to go. So I love this, I think, because it's so nutritious, it's full of vegetables, and it's like a really nice summertime soup, and you can freeze it. So let me know if you think you'll give it a go, and if you want more recipes that you can batch cook and freeze and have ready and be organised, you might be interested in the organised bundle of Your Wild Gut Project, which is like the membership site that I run, and that bundle just has loads of recipes which you can prep, so I'll link that below as well. Yeah, I make a video every Sunday, so I will see you next week with another. Bye!